What is Bitcoin really worth? You want the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, the Bitcoin halving is 2 days away. Bitcoin will fundamentally flip gold. Not to mention Larry Fink and the gang. Well, after only 96 days of trading, the Bitcoin ETFs, excluding Grayscale, have bought up 6 times more Bitcoin than was mined. Now, what happens when Grayscale is bled dry and that doubles to 12x more Bitcoin being purchased than mined in just 2 days? Well, let's be honest. We're entering the most insane bull run in Bitcoin's history, yet people are literally crying, Bitcoin crashed to 63,000. Do you even hear yourself? Stay humble. Stack sats. This is the way. And in this episode, we're going to find out just what Bitcoin is actually worth. What is its maximum value? If you're new or think you're late to the party, buying Bitcoin in 2024 will change your life. And you might want to get started because it looks like the future for you could be even brighter and more bullish than you ever imagined.
Party, party, that party. Come and have a good time with G.O.D.
Bitcoin crashing to 64K was a dream just a couple years ago. And from the last halving to today, Bitcoin is up 800%. Bitcoin just this year alone so far is up by, well, 40%. Our senile friend Peter Schiff wrecked gold up a measly 7% year to date and 11% in the past 5 years. Now, with Bitcoin becoming scarcer than gold, fundamentally, the shift towards Bitcoin as the hardest money on the planet is about to reach escape velocity. The world seems to be teetering, yet Bitcoin has been impressively resilient, with some massive accumulation taking place at all-time highs. But what is Bitcoin's actual value? What is it really worth? And why do prices go down over time for things like energy, food, and shelter for Bitcoiners, while the rest of the world using fiat, well, everything is constantly getting more expensive? Well, none other than the Bitcoin legend Jeff Booth, author of The Price of Tomorrow, joined Nico just last night for an epic episode of Simply Bitcoin IRL, and he broke that down as well as what Bitcoin's actual implied value really is.
We don't have a prior that has Bitcoin in it. Throughout all history, if you could co-opt money, you would steal that productivity at a slow rate at first and then a faster rate from every person on the planet through printing more pieces of paper. It becomes modern day slavery for billions of people on the planet operating under your rules of the system. And eventually people get mad and they go to war over that to try to reset that. But the beautiful thing about this is they only have control if you give them control, and you don't have to. You can just move all your time and energy with all of the beautiful people that are creating this network, and the world heals. Once you see decentralized insecurity, how important that is for humanity, once you're Galileo and you've looked and you've seen the truth, you're not going back to the lie. There's too many people right now that know this truth, and I'm expecting everything to come at it, but they won't be successful because there's too many people, and there's more people every day that are learning the truth, and there's more people adding their voice to building the new system. So I would just kind of forget all of the nonsense from the other stuff and just focus on building and focusing on spending more of your energy in the new system. You'll be happier.
Absolutely epic. In short, when you've adopted Bitcoin and exited the scam that is the fiat system, you basically time traveled to the free market future. You're living on another paradigm within a dying system. That's why Bitcoiners are thriving so much despite everything taking place right now. They're ahead of the curve, and you could be too. Let's take a look at oil priced in Bitcoin. What about rent priced in Bitcoin? Take a look at eggs priced in Bitcoin. And be sure to check out a couple of these websites to see just how much easier life gets on a Bitcoin standard. We'll link those in the show notes, but everything priced in Bitcoin gets cheaper over time. Kind of seems like it's the best money ever created or discovered, and you might want to grab some.
The point of Bitcoin is to fix the money, and money is energy, and energy is life. And if I keep sucking the energy out of the economy, I'm sucking the oxygen out of your system. Under the best case, you perform poorly. Under the worst case, I suffocate you to death or freeze you to death. That's why empires collapse. That's why economies collapse. It's not just a problem for an individual. It's not just a problem for a family. It's a problem for every institution. It's a problem for every company. It's a problem for every city, every municipality, every government, every civilization.
While the lettuce hands are stuck viewing things in fiat terms, well, they're selling their future selves short. They obviously don't get it, but those that do, they understand this. Bitcoin's implied value. What is Bitcoin actually worth? Now, before we dive in, let's take a second to recognize our sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. Bringing over 25 years of experience in cybersecurity, the Bitcoin Way is your IT team in the Bitcoin world. They'll help take you from that why Bitcoin to the how Bitcoin. From setting up your first wallet node all the way up to inheritance planning, accepting Bitcoin payments for your business. They cover all aspects of Bitcoin security and privacy. They even work with their clients to configure routers, devices, and networks. Also, not to mention UTXO management and coin joining. In short, for everything in Bitcoin sovereignty and privacy related, they are your go-to source. Hey, and if you're looking to get started, you can book a free 30-minute consultation using that link below. Okay, it's time, and you're not bullish enough. What is the implied value of Bitcoin, and what will Bitcoin be worth in fiat terms in the future?
Every single time somebody prices Bitcoin in their US dollars, it tells you they don't get it. Because here's what the world wealth looks like today. About 900 trillion in total global wealth, 400 trillion in debt. The 400 trillion is already insolvent. It would take 12,873,000 years to pay back that debt. So today, if you did 900 trillion divided by 21 million, you would get the implied value of each Bitcoin today. That is the value based on today's purchasing power of Bitcoin. But there's two things that if you're measuring through that system, you're going to get really confused about. In 5 years, that 900 trillion will not be 900 trillion. It'll be something like 2 quadrillion. So it'll more than double in the next 5 years because it has to, because of the amount of monetary easing to be able to keep that system solvent, especially with how fast technology is moving the other way. We'll have to massively increase the amount of money supply. So let's use 2 quadrillion. At that time, so 5 years from now, then that 46 million per Bitcoin today would turn into 92 million per Bitcoin tomorrow. The other lever that's happening at the exact same time, which is so hard to measure, is productivity in the market is moving faster and faster and faster. AI and robotics will create food for free. Energy prices will come to almost free, meaning the purchasing power of today's dollar will get exponentially more valuable. With that many levers kind of happening at the same time, to try to measure this through the debasing currency, it is one of them, and I don't want to say pet peeves because I know people do it, but when everybody takes their Bitcoin to the piece of paper, the debasing currency, to measure the wealth and value of the Bitcoin, they're missing the point. The natural state of the free market is deflation. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. What is the only thing that can measure the free market? The only thing that doesn't have counterparty risk to the existing system? It's Bitcoin. That will measure the free market forever, as long as it stays decentralized and secure. And that's what's happening.
You can literally become a time traveler by adopting the Bitcoin standard today and opt into the free market system where life continually gets better and more affordable. Or you could just move to San Francisco now and rip the Band-Aid off and just go full fiat. I think they have some nice tents. Thank God Bitcoin fixes this. Opt out, build your own future. And if you missed last night's Simply IRL with Jeff Booth, be sure to check out the full interview. Like, subscribe, set those notifications, share the Sound Money Gospel, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter for all the latest breaking Bitcoin news, and tune in to the #1 Bitcoin only live news show, Simply Bitcoin Live, Monday through Friday at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace. And reminder, the price of tomorrow is losing 99% of your wealth betting against Bitcoin.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.